At 2 a.m., I lay bleeding on the floor. My leg bent the wrong way, bone tearing through skin. Mouth full of blood. The copper taste drowned every breath. I begged her, "Mom, please stop him, please." She stood in the doorway, arms crossed, face carved with disdain. "You should have signed the loan." The stepdad she chose over me stood behind her, fists still trembling, rage dripping from him like sweat. She didn't flinch, she didn't move. I crawled toward her, broken, desperate, my hands leaving streaks of red across the tiles. I clutched her feet like a child, praying for mercy. She leaned down, whispered in my ear, "No one will ever save you, not even me." That was the night I stopped asking for help and started planning my revenge. Once, I believed her love was enough to protect me. She was my mother, the person I trusted to stand between me and the world. But the world wasn't what broke me, she did. First with neglect, then with choices. She remarried when I was 16, a man who drank more than he worked. His presence was a storm, violent, unpredictable, always hungry. I thought she didn't see it, but she did. She just didn't care. And when she chose him over me, I told myself it was survival. I told myself mothers did what they had to. Until that night. Until the loan. The truth came in fragments, a half-heard conversation, a bill in my name I never signed. Her whisper on the phone, "He'll sign it eventually, he has no choice." They had already forged my signature on small things, subscriptions, bills, debts. But this time it was bigger, a bank loan, hundreds of thousands. They wanted me to carry their failures. I said no. For the first time in years, I refused. And that refusal is what broke my leg. But it didn't break me. Pain sharpens you. It burns away illusion. While I healed in silence, I memorized everything. Their routines, their debts, their allies. The lies they told neighbors, friends, family, every detail cataloged. They thought I was finished, limping, useless, broken. What they didn't see was the calculation behind my silence. I didn't fight back that night because I wasn't planning to fight. I was planning to erase them. Revenge isn't chaos, it's patience. I started small, quiet. I built credit in my name, locked and sealed. I opened accounts they couldn't touch. I created a paper trail that separated me from them. Then I began collecting. Photos of his drinking, audio of their fights, bank statements proving fraud, screenshots of messages they thought I'd never see. Every piece stored in encrypted drives, duplicated, untouchable. And then came the allies. Not family, they were poisoned. Outsiders, lawyers, investigators. People who had no stake in my pain, but plenty of interest in my evidence. Piece by piece, I turned their empire of lies into a loaded gun. 3 years later, the storm broke. They called me back, pretending to reconcile. Dinner at their house, staged like a peace offering. But the papers were waiting. New loans, new debts, ready for my signature. They thought the crippled child they'd raised would fold. I didn't. Instead, I slid a folder across the table. Thick, heavy, evidence stacked like bricks. My mother's face went pale before she even opened it. Fraud, forgery, tax evasion, physical abuse, audio clips of her laughter while I begged for help. "This goes to the police in the morning," I said, voice steady, "unless you give me everything. The house, the accounts, the cars, all of it." My stepdad's hand twitched toward violence, but I met his eyes, unflinching. "Try. Every second you waste, another file gets emailed." Because I'd set it up that way, automatic, scheduled, irreversible. They knew I wasn't bluffing. I watched them break. My mother's pride shattered first. She reached for excuses, then for sympathy, then for me. But I wasn't her child anymore. I was her executioner. My stepdad raged, spit flying, veins bursting. But rage doesn't beat evidence. Rage doesn't beat strategy. He signed the papers with a hand that shook so badly the ink bled across the page. And when it was done, I leaned forward, calm, controlled. "Do you remember what you whispered to me?" I asked her. She blinked, confused. "You said no one would ever save you." I let the silence stretch. "You were wrong. I saved myself." Her face crumpled. That was the real fracture. They live small now. No house, no cars, no status. Just shadows of the power they once swung over me. And me? I walk through the home they thought I'd never deserve. My limp is still there, but it's mine. A scar that reminds me of what I endured and what I overcame. Do I regret it? Not once. Because revenge isn't about cruelty. It's about correction. It's about taking back the breath, the blood, the dignity they stole. At 2 a.m. on that floor, I was a child begging for mercy. Now, I'm the one who decides who breathes easy. And I made sure.